Hey everyone, Brenda Flanders with Utah Sport Karate League, here with another competitor highlight interview. Today's special guest is Jaxson Carson. He is an awesome competitor competing in the 15 to 17-year-old black belt divisions. He is currently training with Tobin's Elite under Mr. Mike Tobin. He has been training for 6 years. And let me tell you, when I say this kid is outstanding and exciting to watch, I cannot tell you how great he is. I had the opportunity to be on the 2023 Team USA under WKU with him this last year, and man, this kid works hard. So I'm excited to have him on. Let's go ahead and bring him on. How are you doing, Jaxson?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for
Awesome.
taking
Of
some time to speak with us today. We're excited to hear from you.
course. Thank you for having me.
That's awesome. Thank you for being on. So we talked about how long you trained. What does training look like for you? How much studio time do you put in?
So let's see. I go to the studio 3 to 4 days a week, and I train for about 4 to 5 hours a day.
Wow,
Always
that's a
there.
it's like you're home away from home, right?
It is. I basically live there. I love it though. It's awesome.
That is awesome. And definitely you can see your passion when you are doing your forms. You can see how much you love it. And I think that's important to inspire some of these younger martial artists and some of these competitors.
Of course. Thank you.
So, how do you prepare for tournaments? Does it look any different than your regular training?
It's not really different. I would just say that we have team practices on just random days like Mondays and Wednesdays where I just go in a little bit early, and anytime I can find any floor space that is available, I'll use it to practice and just get my katas down as best as I can.
So you always stay tournament ready, huh? You're
Ready.
always geared up, huh?
Oh yeah, always looking
That's
forward to the next tournaments.
that's awesome. So, what would you say is your favorite division of all times to compete in?
Well, my first ever time I competed, I did sword, and I've been doing sword ever since I first started, and it's just my favorite. So, musical weapon for sure.
Nice.
I can always learn new tricks with it, so I can always have more room to improve. It's just so much fun to do.
Well, and you've had some challenges that has presented themselves over the last couple of years with some injuries. And
Oh
how did
yeah.
how did you deal with that to get back into? Because I mean, honestly, you wouldn't know that you had such a severe injury in your ankle, I believe, before the WKU. Because when you went out there and was doing your forms and taking all those gold medals and just crushing your divisions, you wouldn't have known that you just came off of an injury. How did you deal with that mentally and physically to get yourself back on track?
It was definitely hard to get back into it. I definitely had to come over a lot of mental barriers, but my main thing that kept me in it and kept was being at the studio every day. Even though I couldn't do anything and I just had to sit on the side, being there and just being around what I love, it brought my spirits up as much as it can. And the second the doctor told me that I could start getting back into it easier and easier, I just pushed myself as hard as I could because I knew that I had such a short time to be able to be ready for WKU Worlds. And it was a lot of mental stuff, but I had people pushing me and I had a lot of encouragement, which really brought me back from the ankle injury.
That's amazing. That's
It-
amazing. I know you got a strong team behind you. I know you've got a strong team, not only just with your dojo, but with your family. I know your mom's always on the sidelines cheering you on. I'm sure at home she's doing the same and just helping steering you in and keep you on track.
oh yeah, it's awesome. I really appreciate it because she's always there for me, no matter what. Like my whole family, they just put as much as they can into this sport and they just let me do what I love and I love it.
I love that. Encouraging your growth and
Encouraging, yep.
seeing you reach potentials that maybe you didn't know you had. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
awesome. That's awesome. It's important to have that strong empowerment team behind you. So
definitely.
what would you say motivates you to compete?
Definitely I'd say like my teammates and just It just always gives me a new challenge to do. Like, say, like I'm going out there to compete and I can learn a new form. There's always room to improve and get better, and it just keeps me on my toes, and it just keeps me competing. And I don't know, it's just fun. I just love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So speaking of keeping you on your toes, is there a particular competitor out there that helps keep you on your toes? Maybe is that you found that is a challenge to compete against?
I definitely say, anyone from my team, obviously, and then people from out of state. So I say like Sophia Campos and Cameron from your studio, and literally anyone that I compete against. They're just always pushing me to be better. I'll always be on the sidelines watching and thinking how I can always be better and be like them. And
I
they all
like
just keep me on their toes in their own different ways.
I like that. I like that. You're drawing inspiration from all of your top competitors, and that's awesome. I know that you're really supportive of those competitors too. You often see on the sideline or after your competition gets done, giving those high fives, or even before the competition starts. You're just a respectful young man, and I really appreciate that, and hope to see that part of it inspire more martial artists. I think we need more of that out on the floor, that support for that competition, because I truly believe that the only people that we really compete against is ourselves. And
Yeah.
if we can be better than we were yesterday, that's a win in itself, right?
Yep, I like that. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, you're certainly a great example of that. So now we talked about um, challenges. We talked about your favorite divisions, some of your competitors that have been challenging. What would you say is a competition goal for 2024?
Well, definitely one of my main competition goals for this year is in October for WKU Worlds, we're going to Greece. And since I didn't have as much time last year because of my injuries, I definitely want to push myself a lot more this year and try to do my best in those divisions. And also, I say taking a grands at one of your local tournaments
Heck yeah.
this year, because like when I went to the Rocky Mountain Open, there was crazy competition in that grands division, and I just want to push myself to be able to try to win a grands this year.
That division was stacked. Your age group was stacked, and like you said, it was all high quality martial artists. I think that the way that we're seeing USKL grow, we'll see a lot more of that in all of our divisions, not just at the Rocky Mountain or the Valor Showdown. I think we'll start seeing a uptick in some of the other competitions that we host. Speaking of that, do you have any plans to compete in March at the Battle of Champions?
Yep, I'll be there. I'm
Heck yeah.
excited for it.
Heck yeah.
There
That's
was
awesome.
so
Well,
much, yep, so much talent. I'm looking forward to it. So much
well,
talent
we can't wait to see what you have to offer. Do you
there.
have any new tricks that you're going to be busting out in
Oh yeah. Let's see, right now I'm learning this trick called, I think, Hyper 9. So it's a 900 into a 540.
wow.
And then I'm trying to learn cart fulls and all those spinny tricks.
Man, just bringing it up every single tournament. That level just keeps rising. So we talked a little bit about WKU. Can you share a little bit with our viewers how it turned out for you in 2023? What were your wins? What did that look like for you?
Oh yeah, so WKU in Calgary, I got 5 silver and 1 gold out of my 6 divisions, and it was a stacked tournament because compared to Wells, Wells was pretty big, but I think Canada was more accessible for people this year. So there was definitely a lot more competition in my some of my divisions. So it was awesome to compete. Great experiences.
It was awesome to watch you, and you're right. Your divisions were stacked, and just had some high quality competitors in there. And like you said, you walked away with those silver, walk away with that gold, and you were just incredible. I'll just
Thank
say you
you.
were incredible. You were incredible. So, what did your wins look like for the Rocky Mountain Open?
The Rocky Mountain Open was 5 gold, 1 silver.
Heck yeah,
Oh yeah, that
nice.
tournament was
I
fun.
could see a grand champion in your near future, sir. I can see it.
All right. Thank you.
So what would you say, how would you say that martial arts has impacted your life um, all around?
I gotta say it definitely brings in many factors into like everyday life. Like just it's taught me just so much respect and like discipline, like not even just in karate, but with school, like it teaches me how to focus and like stay on task and have that self-motivation and discipline and just how to basically just have integrity and respect others, just like everyday aspects of martial arts into my life.
I love that. I love that. Your teachers probably love you at school, being a great example for all the other students. I love that. I love
Let's
that. That's
hope.
great. So let's get a little bit more insight on you and your favorites. So, what is your favorite weapon to manipulate or compete with or just to use?
Definitely the sword. There's it's like kind of a more limited weapon compared to the bow, but it's just I feel like once you get it down, there's so much like technique that is behind it really. So there's always, even if there's not as many tricks to learn, there's always stuff to improve on. And there's just a lot of different techniques you can learn. I just really love it. It's my favorite weapon for
It's
sure.
definitely a technical weapon. If you're not right on, I mean that blade is super thin. You've got to be
Yep.
you've got to be on point. It is very technical weapon. That's awesome. So what would you say your favorite kick or technique is?
Definitely the 540. 540 kick is definitely my favorite. It's a super, like my coach was saying, it's a super respected kick in karate. It's definitely harder to like master, but like once you get it, it's such a cool trick to throw.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love
And
watching other people throw it too. Like it's so cool to watch.
it's a beautiful kick, right?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, I love that. What would you say is your favorite tournament?
Um, well, I definitely have a lot of tournaments to pick from, but let's
Yeah.
see, locally, for sure the Valor Showdown because there's so
Nice.
much competition there, and the medals every single year are just awesome. Like the medals they're big, they're cool. But let's see, for out of state, I love Shark City Nationals, to one of Tony's tournaments for the league, and then for any type of international WKU Worlds tournaments because it just gives me different types of experiences for all of them.
Absolutely. You do got a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
So, with all of this time you spend at the dojo, all of this time you spend traveling and competing across the United States, internationally, locally, do you have other hobbies outside of martial arts?
Yeah, so I play baseball.
Cool.
I've been doing baseball since I was about 4, and it's super fun. I haven't been able to do it as much recently, but I'm gonna see if I can do it this year, maybe next year. But it's definitely my second favorite sport for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, do you have a fun fact that you'd feel comfortable sharing with us?
I have no clue.
No fun facts?
No
I'm
clue.
sure there's lots of fun facts out there about you.
I don't know. I like just do a lot of living on the wild side, I guess. I kind of just do stuff like out there, like definitely an extrovert. I'll talk to anyone. I'll do any type of different activities, try any new things.
I can
And
see that. I can see that. I think you're one of the first competitors that come up to me every single tournament just to say hello, and that always means a lot to me. It's always nice to get that approach from you to say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm ready to compete. How are you doing?" It's always nice, and it definitely holds a special place for me. So I
thank you.
appreciate that. So, who would you say is your favorite competitor to watch? Either sparring, katas, your favorite all-time competitor to watch?
Favorite all time. That's hard. That is
Yeah.
hard to pick from. Oh my. I think for sure, um, anyone from my team, anyone from Team USA as well, but like I said, Cameron with his bow from your studio, it is insane to watch how he spins that so fast and all of his tricks that he can do. And then Sophia Campos with like the more soft style. I don't do that type of style of martial arts, but it's so cool to watch her precision with that. And literally just anyone. I feel like everyone has their own different types of talents and it's so fun to go to tournaments and watch everyone for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are two high level competitors that you mentioned, and definitely fun ones to watch. So over the years, is there any particular competitor or individual from your team or an instructor that has really helped inspire you? And you did talk earlier about how there's a lot of motivation from your team. Is there a particular person that's like, hey, this guy's just inspired me to level up, to take it to that next level, and to stay on top of it?
Yeah, definitely Sensei Mike, my coach Mike Tobin. He always just pushes me to do my best and he keeps me motivated even when I don't feel like being motivated sometimes. He keeps me to be my best and he always has something new for me to do. And even like I said, when I was injured, he just kept me there. He kept my spirits lifted up. And then for sure, one of my first coaches I ever had, Emma Lovin.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you remember her. Yeah, so
Yes, absolutely.
she taught me sword and she taught me like basically all the basics I know other than Mike. And she just kept me the love for it, of course, like kept me going. Still one of the reasons I'm in it, and I just love watching her. And like they just both give the best advice, and not even just only for karate, but for everyday advice that I fit into my aspects of my everyday life for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. I've known Mike for many many years, and he's got so much valuable information, and produces some of the world's best martial artists. So that's awesome that you get the opportunity to train under him, and get all those tips of the trade, and just to keep you help keep you motivated and going. So that's awesome. And Emma Lovan, man. Ah, she was fun to watch compete. She
It was
competed
fun.
against I watched her compete for a really long time. She competed against a couple of my gals here, and just outstanding. So that's awesome that you've had that opportunity to have those two influences in your life. It does really make a difference on who you surround yourself with. So
It
that's
does.
very cool. Very cool.
Super grateful for it. Yeah. I talk about all the time how lucky I am that I picked to have them as my coaches.
That's awesome. It's great to have that gratitude. It takes you a long way, doesn't it?
Yep, for sure.
So, if you had some advice to give competitors out there or younger martial artists, what would that advice be?
To just not worry about what level you're at, because anyone can is on different levels, and just push yourself to be your best. And if you really love it, just never give up on it. If it's something you love, just pursue it as much as you possibly can, and just yeah, just do your best. It's everyone's different with their levels of where they're at, and always just be kind to others with it, and be a great teammate, have great sportsmanship, and just be there. Just do
I love
you.
that. I love that. Coming from one of the world's best, those of you out there watching, make sure you take that information and run with it. He definitely speaks from a lot of experience, a lot of years doing what he does. So take that information and run with it. Take it to heart. So is there anybody out there that you may want to give a special thanks to for helping you get to where you're at, that helps you do the things that you do?
Definitely my parents, always supporting me ever since I was little with this, and they always do their best to get me to these tournaments, get me to karate every day, and just keep me doing what I love, and I appreciate it.
That's awesome. You got a great family behind you. That's really great. All right. Well, I'll let you get back to your day. Those of you who are out there watching, make sure you keep your eye out for Jaxson. He is an outstanding competitor. Definitely somebody that you want to keep your eye on. Not only is he outstanding with his forms, he's just a high class kind of guy. He's just amazing. So keep your eye on him. The next tournament coming up is the Battle of Champions, which is also the second tournament in our medal series. Our medal series. And if you are not yet subscribed to our emailer list, make sure you go over to utahsportkarateleague.com and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any upcoming events or upcoming information. That's all I have for you. Thanks again, Jaxson, for
Thank you so
joining
much,
us.
Brenda, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. I
Hey,
appreciate
no
it.
problem. Thank you.